45 watching now. 45 cups are here. It's 54. Kavita, let's get started. The count is 76 and people are joining. We'll wait for 5 minutes. So,
Okay, guys. So whoever is present, can you all just tell what are you expecting from the session until the others join in? We will be reading your comments, so make sure that you do. Come on, guys. At least put in a hi message if you are watching the video. We'll understand who is actually into this video, who's listening.
basic concept and needs in C language. Siddhartha from Anurag University. Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm getting the comments now.
At sharp 7:05 p.m., we'll get started with the session, guys.
Yeah.
We had a good count. Okay.
Great, guys. So before we actually get into to the session, I just want to give you a brief introduction on what Coding Cubs exactly is. So Coding Cubs is a university level club, guys. It's a club from Anurag University, and it's an initiative of Artificial Intelligence Department of Anurag University. So you can have a look at our club. Our Coding Cubs is the name of the club, and I think most of you already know that our club name is Coding Cubs because we've already been sending you messages. And I just want you guys to have a look at the slogan of our club. We don't code here. So there are two meanings for two different kind of people. Uh, for all the non-coders, you can You just feel that basically avoid that exclamatory mark and you read it as "we don't code here." Uh, so all those non-coders are coming here to learn coding, right? And for the coders, if you actually know the meaning of not and you're not very much particular about the semicolon and all, you'll understand that this means that we do code here. I mean, not of don't is do, right? So you will read it as we do code here. So all those coders, we have advanced sessions like game development and Flutter development. So the main focus of Coding Cubs is to take care of both coders and non-coders. So we'll be concentrating both on coders and non-coders. Also, coming to the activities that Coding Cubs want to conduct, we actually wanted to have these kind of mentor sessions offline, but because of this continuous cycle of viruses that is going on, Omicron, Delta virus, and the new one that's coming up, Neo Cove. So it all happened online, but then even though despite all this, I mean, what do you say, disturbances, we managed to conduct an online session like this, and we wanted to help all those first and second years who are not confident enough on your coding skills. And one last point I would like to tell is that coding is not difficult, guys. It all depends on your will and your interest. If you're really interested to learn, it's just just treat it as a unit with multiple subunits. It's just simple, and where there's a will there's a way. So it's really simple, and Coding Cubs is here to help you all. That's it. And also we have Satvika Vemula here. She'll be telling us on what our coders assemble actually is. Go on, Satvika.
So, hello guys, good evening everyone. So, this is an initiative taken by CodingCubs by the Department of AI, Anurag University, for all the coders as well as non coders to learn all the languages really from scratch to the advanced level. You don't have any you don't have any prerequisite in order to attend these sessions. It is really from the basic level to the advanced level. And this coding assemble is all about teaching all the coders and also non-coders for whatever they need to learn regarding the technologies from technology producers and consumers. So here we have a quick start in two phases that we have taken. That is, first phase we teach you and train you the C language and also the Python language in 6 week series, where every Friday we go with C language and in every Saturday we go with Python language, and the timings are from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on respective days. And the second phase is all about training you the Flutter development as well as game development, which we're going to inform you further when we plan and schedule regarding that. And moreover, in this 6 week of series, we didn't expect such a huge response from you guys. So we have also planned a side project along with these sessions where you also get PPTs and also materials will be provided to everyone who have attended this session. And also, please feel free to ask your queries in Telegram group and any other groups. And moreover, guys, you will be certified with this course, which is really a very good value added in your resume.
Okay, so I see that there are a lot of questions on how can I join the club. So we'll soon be releasing information and forms for you to fill, so that even we should know how enthusiastic you are to join the club and what exactly you want to learn or why you basically want to join the club. So we'll do that very soon. Any more questions, guys? Or shall we just go ahead with the session?
Before getting into the session, like reply in the chat box, how many of coders are right here and non-coders? Like I'm a coder, I'm non-coder. non-coders. Make it quick, guys. We have running out. Like we have less time to run whole the session. We have 6 weeks. Okay, Vinita, take
Yeah.
the lead.
So seems like there are a lot of non-coders
Non-coders.
here. So we are here. Yeah. So we are here with the C programming session, and we have our secretary here, Shashank, who's the mentor of the C programming series. He'll be starting with the introduction to C. Shashank.
Hello everyone, this is Shashank Lord and I'm the secretary of the CodingCubs actually. So today we are going to start C and we have initiated only C and Python because if you have a programming language known as C, you can learn any structured programming language. I'll tell you even what's a structured programming language and everything. And Python, you actually know everything is written in English. Most probably you will be writing it in English and everything is easy in there. So let's start with C right now. Let me just share my screen. Okay, now we're seeing the CodingCubs. We are from CodingCubs and this is the C language stream. So people who know what coding, they'll be like, this is an introduction session right now. So everything we're going to start from scratch. So I'm going to start with the non-coders itself. So this is C language stream. So C language is a structured programming language. What do you mean by structured programming languages? Everything you write must be written in a flower brackets. So whenever you write it in the flower brackets, that's when the code will be executed. Okay, the code written outside the flower brackets are not going to be taken into consideration. But that's another case for Python. Wherever you write it, the code is interpreted there. Okay, so let's see about the syntax about the C language. The C syntax is written like header file, main, and everything. So first is we need two braces, and in those two braces you have your code. And apart from those two braces, whatever you write is not taken into consideration. That I have told you right now. So if you write in two braces, between the two braces, then how will the compiler know that this is the code that you are giving to the compiler? So what we're going to do is we're going to give a name to it, and that name is called a function. So what we are specifying here is we are giving a name to the two braces that you have written your code in, and this is called as a function. And in the later sessions, you will know what is function and different types of functions, recursive function and everything. But here is just the syntax of how and what we have to do. So what is function is the name here actually. The function name is given to the two braces so that your code gets executed by the compiler. Okay, but what does the compiler chooses as the first function? So the first function chosen by the compiler is the main function. Whenever you have a function called main, it goes directly to the main function first and then starts executing each and every line of code. Okay, so main function is an important function that you have to write in each and every program of C. Okay, so C programming has a lot of advantages because it's a structured programming language, so each and everything goes according to one line and everything is clean and clear. Whatever you do, the compiler does it. Whatever you want, the compiler does it. It doesn't have any secret code inside to do everything. Okay, and C language doesn't have a lot of things that complicates everything. So it doesn't have a lot of inbuilt functions and everything, so that you have to write each and every code. And the advantage of C language is the time complexity of every single program you write is actually less than any program that you have inbuilt functions. Okay. Now, in the main, this is not the complete syntax. We also need to have the header files. And what are the header files? Header files are nothing but these are the files that contain the inbuilt functions for C. I mean, like you have printf function, scanf function. These are the functions that give outputs and inputs. But these are the functions that are not defined by us. These are already present in the header files. What are header files? This is what you call as inbuilt functions, inbuilt files that has all these inbuilt functions. Okay. This will already be present in the computers itself. Okay. Now let what is we'll see now is what we'll see now is this is a syntax of C: header file, main function, and your code inside it. So let's see what we have to write in your code. Your code consists mostly of variables, constants, and the logic of whatever you want to give, and user input and the output you want to show to the user. Okay. So variables, constants, logic, input and output. Input and output are for the user and you're showing for the user itself. Logic is for the internal, what you call mathematics or doing something that the user is asking you to do. Variables and constants. Variables and constants are the main important things of this session today. Okay, variables are the programming in programming variables are the containers which hold the data. So whatever data you want it to hold, like you want something to be like a number to be stored first, or the way, input you're taking it, you have to store it in somewhere. So to store a data, you take it a variable. Okay, so there are two types of variable declaration. One is directly declaring like the first one, directly declaring it, and or you can also initialize the variable at the moment itself, at the compile time itself. So data type, variable name, and variable. That's the first thing. It's called declaration. And if you want to initialize, it's data type, variable name, and the value equal to and the value. Okay. And in C language, you have to have semicolon compulsorily at the end of every single statement. If not, the compiler takes it as an error. Okay. Now let's see how it is declared. So if this is a complete memory, it is present in the RAM. So what we are doing is we're taking first the data type is seen. The data type, whatever it is present, according to the number of bytes it needs, the memory allocates it the variable that many bytes. This is declaration of a variable. Okay, it doesn't give any values. It gives a garbage values and everything. So now what happens when you initialize it? When you initialize it, the value gets present in the variable there with the variable name and giving the memory for it. Okay. So this is a variable. A variable is nothing but it stores a value and keeps it to itself. Okay. For you to access it in the next steps of the program. Now let's go to constants. What is a constant? Constants are also like variables. The one thing you have to remember here is once initialized, a constant cannot be changed. So what happens in the variable is when you take an input like you give a variable I equal to 1. Okay. Now when you're given I as a variable 1, I can afterwards change it to 2. But a constant cannot be changed. We can actually constants are used for values like pi and everything because you don't want to change the value of pi anywhere. So constants are used in places where you think you're writing a biggest program ever, but you are having a value called pi. But you don't want to change the value of pi, and there is some error coming down when you're using it as a variable. So you're giving a compiler that this is a constant. If I'm taking it somewhere and you're changing the value of it, please let me know where am I changing it. So that is where the constant value is used. Constant is used. So you're telling the compiler that I don't want to use it. I don't want to change the value of this. So please tell me wherever if I have changed it. Okay. So that's what constant is. Now let's see what is constant versus variable. See, if you are giving a constant name value 1, and if you change the value of it, it does it. It gives you a compiler error. But you can change the same in the value name, variable name, and variable things. Okay, now what happens is if I go on telling in the same way here, like a PPT, you won't understand anything. So let's go with a compiler and let's see how it comes. 1 minute. Okay, so this is the syntax I was talking to you about. Now, here this is the header file for printf and scanf. So stdio.h. Okay, this is the header file. This is the main function. And these are the brackets. Okay, so whatever code you write right now must be present in these two brackets itself. Okay, now let's take an variable. It's like data. 1 minute. I'll write here. Data type, variable name, and this is the declaration of the variable. Okay, I think you want to see. Uh, Data type, variable name, and this is the declaration. That's it. Okay. Now, data type, we'll take it as integer data type. A variable name is I, and we just keep a semicolon. Semicolon is important for every single program you're doing. So, what we're doing is we're taking an I variable and keeping as int. What happens is int takes 2 bytes. So, a memory of 2 bytes is allocated for me for I. Okay. What now? Let's take now how to initialize that variable. So you can initialize it in this way: I equal to 2. You can do it in this way, or else this is the type. This is the way you can initialize and also declare in the same time. Type variable name equal to the value. Okay. Now this is how you initialize it at the declaration time itself. So if I write j equal to 3, so both are correct. If I run over here, you get no errors right now. Okay. So how do you print them out? So printing out, you will get in other classes too, how to print a string, how to print a character, but I'll tell you simply a brief thing called how to print an integer. Okay. So we'll write a printf function here. So print it on the screen on the output here. Okay. So what is the printf function? It prints whatever the values you want to print on the screen or for the user. It's called an output. Okay. So we'll just print I equal to I equal to percentile. Percentile, what does percentile mean is you're telling that I'm giving a variable that is of an integer type. Okay. So what is an integer type here? I. So we are telling I is equal to I. So let's see if it runs or not. See, here is given an error that I don't have a semicolon at the end of the printf function. So as I told you in the starting itself, semicolon is compulsory everywhere. Okay. And now let's see. Now we are getting the value as I equal to 2. Okay. Now in the same way, I can change it afterwards like I equal to 4 and copy paste the same code right now down here. So now I should be 2 and also 4. As it is a variable, I think we can change the values. Again, I forgot the semicolon, sorry. Okay. See, I is equal to 2 in the first sense, and the second sentence is I equal to 4. Now, why we're getting in the same line is we are not specifying the next line parameters like backslash n. So, what does backslash n does is it takes the line and keeps it to the next line. The cursor into the next line. So what happened here is I equal to 2 and I equal to 4 have come in the same line. So if I wanted it in different lines, I use backslash n after I equal to 2. So when I run it right now, you can say that I equal to 2 and I equal to 4. So this is how you print a variable, how you initialize a variable, and how you declare a variable. Now let's see if we can change this as a constant and see. Constant. Okay. Now I have taken I as constant over here. Okay, now I'm just printing the values right now. So I'll comment these things out. So to comment this, we have to use forward slash. Okay, two forward slashes makes it is a comment. Okay, so what is a comment? Comment is nothing but it is a statement that you're giving for yourself for future references. Like here, I have given you a future reference called data type variable name and semicolon, so that you understand what is a constant, what is a data type here, what is a variable and everything. Okay. So we are writing comments so that even if you give a program to another person, he understands well whatever it is. Okay. So now we are changing the variable I as a constant. Just change it as a constant and will not change it right away. We'll see if it works or not. I equal to 2. So, see, I is just a read-only value, read-only variable. It's given here. You can see it right here. So, what is a read-only variable? You can just read the variable. You can't change the values of it. So that is what it is telling you. So initialize a constant. You have to just keep it equal to 3 here, and now it gives you an answer. So constants cannot change its value. That's what I'm telling you right here. See, again, if we uncomment these 2 lines right now, we'll have the same error back. See, the error is assignment of read-only value I. You cannot assign a value to a read-only variable. What is a read-only variable? It's also called as constant. Okay. So this is another thing I want to show you is if I have like a printf I over here. Wait, 1 minute. Click this off. So we have not kept it inside it. So it is showing you that executive declaration of that and something. So it is telling you that it is not in the main function. So if it's not in the main function, you're not gonna get it to run. Okay. So even the compiler doesn't take it in consideration and it shows an error. Did you get it? Okay. Back to you, Vinita.
So guys, I hope it's clear for all of you what constants and variables are, what are their differences. So just let's have a quick quiz. Like we'll see, I mean, you guys just comment out some variable names and we'll just see which are valid and not valid. Guys, if you didn't get the question, I asked you to type down a few valid and invalid variable names so that we'll just understand if you've really understood the concept or not. So Sai Pravin, why we use int main, all that will be covered in the next session. So don't worry about that. Okay, I can see int J, A, B, C, not that, normal ones, guys. Try something with underscores, numbers also. Don't always go with the basic names for the variables.
So you guys want me to repeat it again? Sai Pradeep, do you want me to repeat it again? Which topic, which part or something like that, or completely?
Great, I can see coding underscore cubs.
Yeah.
Good one, Revant. That's good. Yeah, if you want us to repeat any topic, you can let us know. We'll do that. Please repeat again. Vikas, which part do you want Shashank to repeat? Constant and variables. Shashank, can you go with that again?
Okay. See, constant and variables are not very different with each for each other. See, even a constant is a variable. Okay, constant is also a variable, but the problem is here variable can change its value whenever you run it in the program, but the constant cannot change its value. Okay, I'll just show you one small. Scanning. Are you able to see the screen? So, see, first is this is a header file. This is the main function, and this in the main function inside the two flower brackets, we're going to write that code. So, first thing we're going to write is
Session,
just
could you
print
please
hi.
zoom it little bigger screen? Zoom it. Could you please zoom it the screen little bigger? Like it's getting blurred on mobile.
Okay. Okay. See, first thing is this is a program. Include str.h. This is the header file. This is the main function. This is the printf hi. Printf hi is my one line code right now, and the output I have got is hi. Okay. So till here it's okay. We have learned about printf function. What does it do? It prints out the whatever the value you give it inside. So what let us do is we'll initialize a variable right now. So we'll declare a variable first. How to declare a variable is we'll write a data type. A data type is nothing but which type of data it should carry. The variable should carry. So we have the data type is used actually to assign the memory inside a memory. So if it is an integer, it takes 2 bytes. If you use a character, it takes 1 byte. Okay. So in that way, the data type is given. So first thing we specialize is data type. So how much memory it should be given for the variable. And what we're going to call the variable as, that's the variable name. Okay. Variable name. And always remember the variable name starts with a small character. And if you have to write a different 2 or 3 words in it, use an underscore over there. Okay. So we use an variable name, data type to initialize it. Okay. Data type and variable. Okay. Data type and variable I have written in a comment. What is a comment is nothing but in a program. What we do is we write different lines of code. We don't know after a long time we go and see the code. We don't understand what the code is. Or you're giving the program to someone else. So he doesn't understand what's happening inside it. So we just write 2 lines of it so that he understands what is happening inside it. So I have mentioned right over here that this is the header file I have taken. Okay. Even the compiler has given me that this is an all-in compiler to run C program online. Okay. And I have written here how to declare a variable. Okay. So int is the data type we are taking, and you can take anything out of a equal to 0. So a. So when you don't have to assign a values, it takes in garbage values inside the memory. So I'll just show you printf. D, comma a. So this is a program right now. I have 2 lines of code. That is, I have declared a variable, and I'm printing that variable. So I'll just run, and it is showing me 0. It takes in the first value given to us an int as 0. Okay. So if you don't give it any values, it's going to take 0 as its value. Now let's assign a value to it. That is 2. We're writing a equal to 2. See, now the value of a has changed to 2. The output is right over here. The output is 2 here. The data type we are using is int. So in printf function we are going to use %d. So what is %d is, in printf functions there are a lot of different types of way to print a variable and constant. So not a lot of ways, but lot of things you have to learn about in data types and everything. So we have an input and output session also next week coming up. So in that, there we are going to teach you what is printf function and how it's going to work and everything. Okay, but for now you just have to see that this is the percentile d and this is the function. This is the parameter we're going to use to print an integer. Okay. So a equal to 2, and we have declared it, we have given it a value, and we are printing that value. So this is a variable, whatever it does. So if you write a constant over in front of this become a constant a with the data type integer. So if it is a constant a, and I'm running it right now, it is showing me an error that it is a read-only variable. What is a read or constant is also called as a read-only variable. You can just read the variable or take the value from it, but you can't assign a value to the variable. That is what it is telling me right now. So the assignment of the read-only variable a is should not be done. We use constants mostly when we don't need to change the value of the variable, but somewhere in the program we have done a mistake where it is changing its value. So we are telling the compiler that this is a constant. I really don't want to change it, but if I have done a mistake over there, please let me know where I have done it so I'll rectify the mistake. So it's most probably the thing that we don't want to change. Okay. Now, if a is a constant and a equal to 2. Now, how to assign a value for a constant is we directly initialize it in this way: data type, variable name, and equal to the value. In the starting, before the data type, you have to write the keyword constant. We'll learn about keywords in coming up sessions. See, keywords and everything are going to be teaching for you, but just for your understanding what's a variable and a constant, we use const as to declare a constant variable. Okay. Now to initialize it, like constant, data type, and variable name, I'm giving it a value right now. So I'm giving it a value 5. Now if I run it, it runs without an error and gives you an output 5. Okay. So this is about constants and variable. Constant is a variable which cannot change its value at any given point of time. That's it. Okay.
Thank you, Shashank. Okay, guys, so I have few more questions where people are asking what exactly are the rules to declare variables. There are just basically two rules. First one is that your variable can only contain numbers, letters, which can be both uppercase and lowercase, and digits. And the second rule is that your variable cannot start with a number. It can start with an underscore or an alphabet or a character. That's it. Let's just go with Anish. He'll be explaining you about keywords. Anish, please take over.
Hi everyone, this is Anish from CodingCubs. So today I'm going to talk about keywords in C. To start off with the topic, I think it's a very simple topic. It's like we don't have to spend a lot of time on it, because it's like when we start coding and write programs, it's like we understand the keywords and everything. We don't have to memorize the keywords, and like there are like 32 keywords in the language, so we don't have to memorize every keyword in the language. So to simply start off, keywords are like reserved words. Like every keyword is unique and it has a meaning for it. It's like keywords are the basic building blocks of the program. And To start, like, let me present my PPT. I hope everyone can see it. So I'm going to talk about keywords now. So as I said, like keywords, like that 32 keywords in the language. So these keywords have an intended purpose. We cannot use these keywords for naming constant and variables, as Shashank talked before. Like identifiers, we cannot use these keywords as identifiers. Identifiers, like meaning of identifier is like they are the names of the constants and the variables and everything. So like and the restrictions for these keywords and the rules, we as we talk about the rules of the keywords, all the keywords should be in lowercase. As we like, the people who don't know that there is a case sensitivity in the C, like we can for an example, if we take this word like lowercase, if we change the small l to capital L, it's a different variable name for this in the language. There are some languages where there is no case sensitivity, so it doesn't matter if we name the like how what is the order of the variables and everything. So like these are the more all the keywords in the language, like 32 keywords in the language. So as you can see, the like auto, break, case, and most of these keywords are not used in the daily programming language or like something. The most important keywords we can see that are in char, float, and double and everything. I'll go through every of the every keyword like important keywords. Let me just open the compiler and just get through the example. As we said that there is case sensitivity in the language and everything. So let me just take a variable and take an input for it. As you can see that we can give a value for like variable x and it will give the value again. So when I get to the concept of keywords, let's just see that let's take an example of a keyword called break here. So we can see that the when we enter the keyword, it changes the color of the word variable name. So we cannot use keywords for another purposes. Like I was naming the variable x before, so I was trying to name my variable as break now, but it doesn't allow me to, because like the compiler knows the like break as something, it has a meaning. It can only do the purpose which is intended to. So if we change the value of small b to like capital B, as you can see that there will be no error, but it will last like there will be error because I haven't declared the x also. Wait a second. Now there will be a no error. So it doesn't matter right now. So yeah. I'm really sorry if I'm I'm a bit nervous, and the thing is like I'm not able to explain properly. So just excuse me for that. I'll go to the topics really. So these are the important keywords in the language, like as I mentioned. These are like the first like we can divide the keywords into certain categories. The first category is like data type keywords, like int, char, float, and double. So in the program, like we mentioned the variable as like int x, the char x. Like we use this keyword int because we when we mention a variable, we have to mention the compiler that what type of data it has to hold. Like when we mention int, it will specify the compiler that an integer type value will be stored. When we mention char and everything, it will mention that it will store a character and everything. Same goes with the float and double. We like, as I said, that these are the basic building blocks of the program. We have to use them well every time in the program. So like we don't have to remember all these keywords and all the meaning of these keywords. Like when we write the programs, like we'll get to the meanings and everything. So these are the loop control structure keywords. Like in the next session, like in the future sessions, you'll learn about these loops and everything. For now, I'll give a gist of these keywords for, while, and do. like these are used for like declaring the as we declare the variables within data type like int and everything. These keywords are used for declaring the loops and everything, different types of loop. Like there is a for loop, while loop, do while loop, like that. Like for okay, I can skip this topic, but let me just get to the meanings of for and everything. Well, when we like a loop can be mentioned as it's like a cycle. How many times you want to repeat the same code in the certain like brackets and everything. Like when we know how many times do you want to repeat the loop and everything, we use for. And we don't know when like how many times we have to repeat it. Like we can just mention the condition, and but we don't know how many times the computer has to repeat the loop and everything. We use while. And when we get through like examples on while and everything, you'll understand do while and everything. So for now we can just skip it. And next we can go through jumping control keywords. Like these keywords are also like important, but like we have to learn the topics of loops and everything, because these are like break, continue, go to, and all these keywords are like used to manipulate the key loops and loops. So break is like you when we want to exit the loop. Like uh, let's for an example take a for loop, and we are inside the loop. We want to exit the loop at some point, like after your condition and everything. We don't want to repeat all the cases below it and everything. We use break, then we can come out of the just loop of the program. Like there is a continue keyword. Like this keyword like takes a control to the beginning of the loop. When we mention a loop or something, we mention keyword continue, it will take the control to the top of the loop, and it will like neglect all the keywords like lines below it. And go to is like we have to have functions for the go to. Like it will like we can write like go to something a of practice of thing something. So it will take the control of the like program to that particular function, and it will leave that. Then again the program will start from the particular function. Like we can declare something function of something. We are like in the future session you'll learn about the functions and everything, but understand the language. But uh, for example, we declared a function something named of Anish and something, and we wrote the code, and like there is a logic inside the loop. So we want like in the main program we are writing the code and everything. So we want to use the function again and again. So we can use this like for an if loop or something. We can use this go to something Anish, and it will take the control of the program. Entire program goes to the Anish, and it will start executing the program from there. So these are like important keywords. And the qualifier keywords, like these keywords are not actually used a lot, but not in our daily programming language. Like if we start doing the programs and everything, we don't use this signed, unsigned, short, long. These are like decorations for the language. To say like when we know what kind of data we can like huge kind of data is to be given. Exact like there is a range for every data type. Like take an example for int. It has a range like 32,000 something to positive 30,000 to negative 32,000, like that. So for example, like this short and long like they increase and decrease the range of the data type keywords. These are like decorations and everything for the language like data. For example, and the signed and unsigned, they are like when you like we have to mention a data type keyword with the help of this qualified keyword. Because like for an example, we have to take signed int, we have to take signed char and everything. Because like signed int, when we take signed int, signed means that we can store both positive and negative values in it. Unsigned means that it can only store the positive integer values. So we cannot like when we mention the data type variable as like unsigned int, and we try to store a value of negative, it doesn't take. The compiler starts to give an error, and it will not take the value. So and after that, some of the other keywords like useful for you is like if and everything, struct, double, else and everything. So you'll get to learn this. As I said before, you don't have to remember the meanings and everything. When you start writing the programs, you will be like, you'll understand why we are using the keywords, like what are the keywords, what are the variables, what is the difference between the keyword and identifier. You'll understand, but because the compiler lets you recognize what is a keyword, what is a variable. Like I said, like when we wait a second, sorry, when we type in a keyword, it turns the color like break. Like it turns the color of the variable to like blue color. Like we can see that int is a keyword right now here. Break is a keyword. Again, like these are like we cannot write the program with like without these keywords. Like these are like intended. They have a purpose. They cannot be used for other keywords like other purposes, and we cannot use to name the identifiers with the help of keywords. So the main rule, as I said, like main rule is that we have to mention the keywords in lowercase letters only, and that's it. Wait a second. Is this one? And yeah, that's it with the keywords and everything. As I said, that it's not a big topic you have to remember and everything. It's like you have to go through it. Like when you start programming and everything, it's when you'll get understand everything. So after I wanted to say something, and this like you like this syntax and everything for the language. In any programming language, syntax is like a 20% and everything. The main thing you want to succeed as a coder and everything, the like program like problem solving is important. Like syntax is there, like in the if we are going through C, where the syntaxes and everything like it's like a bit not required necessary, like things are like when we go through Python, it's like the syntax and everything is very simple. It's like writing the language, like coding in English only. We don't have to mention everything like semicolon. Like there's cases where we have to mention the colons and everything, but C is kind of like starting languages. Like so when you get through all these logics, how to write the logics with using these while loops and for loops and many different programming concepts, then you'll understand that how to like how to write the program, how to problem solve the problem more efficiently. uh, in, in Python and everything, there are like many inbuilt functions are there with compared to C. There are inbuilt functions in C like printf and scanf when we use header files and everything, but Python has more inbuilt functions. But the like when the space complexity and the time complexity of the programs are written in C are very better than Python, because like the compiler, the system doesn't have to go through the function again. So it decreases the time complexity. Like when you are like the main criteria for the person like who codes like any programming languages should be the time complexity. You have to reduce the time complexity and everything, so the program should be efficient when compared to a program related to other ones. So right now, when the next mentor will walk you through the different type of data types and everything. So I'll stop sharing my screen. I'll give the control to her.
Vinita?
Yeah. Thank you, Anish. That was a clear explanation on keywords. Guys, if you have any doubts regarding keywords, you can post them in the comment box. And I've been looking at the comments. We saw comments on the quality. So please make sure that your video quality is on 720p, because our entire team is also having this phone beside us to check the quality. So for all of us, it's damn clear. If you have any problem, please check the quality and the network at your end. And also regarding the material, and I got questions. I got comments that if we can display the PPT again, don't worry, we will be sharing the material in the Telegram group. So make sure that you join. We have pinned the message of the Telegram link. Make sure you join the Telegram group with the link. Can we use elif instead of else if in C program? You can't do that. But then we'll make sure that topic is covered in the next session. For this session, it's just the introduction. We just don't want to load a lot of information on you for the first session itself because you might get demotivated. Yeah, Shriyanki, you can't do that, but then we'll explain you briefly about that in the next sessions. It's better to continue next session in Google Meet. Shirisha, sadly, we can't do that because we have participants 200 that Gmeet and Zoom cannot accommodate. That is the reason we have chosen YouTube. Any more questions, guys? Great. So we'll just continue with the next topic. Thanks, Samaya. Great. Okay. So Renu, you can take up the next topic. She'll be teaching you about data types.
Good evening, guys. I am Renu Krishna, the coding mentor of the Coding Cup. I am here to explain you about the data types in C programming. As you have seen earlier, Hanish and Shashank explained you about the data types in the C programming, and I am here to explain you about data types. So let me present my screen. So you can able to see my screen, I think. Okay, data types in the C programming. So what are the data types actually mean? The data type in C defines the amount of storage allocated to the variables, and there are many data types in the C. Why the data types are used actually means when we declare the variables in the program, it defines the amount of storage allocated to the variables. So the variety of data types allows the programmer to select appropriate data. In order to satisfy the need of an application, the variety of data types are used. So there are three classes of data types. They mainly primitive data types, derived data types, user-defined data types. Make sure you remember those three data types. So let us see the flowchart of the data types. The primitive, commonly known as primary data type, derived data type, and the user-defined data type. The derived data type and the user-defined data types are covered in the further sections with a detailed description. And now I'm going to cover primitive data types and the primary, mainly commonly called as primary data types. There are mainly 5: character, integer, float, double, and void. So now look at before going to that, why the data type is used actually means it identifies the type of variable when the variable is declared. So and it also type of the return value of the function. I think it.
Renu, sorry for interrupting. Could you please check your voice? Your voice is breaking. Network issues.
Is it okay now?
Are you using earphones?
Yeah.
There is some disturbance in the audio actually. Renu, you're on mute. You're on mute. Renu, you're on mute. Hello.
Now.
Okay, it's clear. Please go.
Okay, why the data type used actually means it identifies the type of variable when the variable is declared. It identifies the type of the return value of the function also. It identifies the type of parameter when expected by the function. These functions will be covered later on the further sections. And going to the integer data type. What is the integer data type actually? That integers are nothing but the whole numbers with a wide range of values that are machine independent. Shortly, we can say integers without the decimal or a fractional number. It is nothing but whole numbers. So keyword int is used for declaring the variable with integer data type, and it takes 4 bytes of memory space in the when we declare in the program. When we use a hint, it occupies 4 bytes of memory space. The syntax for declaring the integer data types is nothing but int variable, like followed by any name, like that, so on. And coming to the character data type, all the single characters used in the programs belong to the character type. And this character type holds exactly 8 bits, that is 1 byte. And the keyword character is used for declaring the variable with character type. So for example, character variable 1. So make sure you make sure the character data type, when you declare the character data type, you must be enclosed in the single quotes or double quotes, like the so on. So your variable 1 is a variable of type character, which is storing a character h. So coming to the float data type, what is a float data type actually means? The float data type is used to store fractional numbers with a 6 digits of precision. What the fractional numbers is nothing but decimal numbers, you can consider. What is the precision actually means? The precision is nothing but you can note down the definition of the precision also. The precision is nothing but the number of digits after the decimal value. The number of digits after the decimal value is a precision. The float only takes up to the 6 digits of precision. The floating point numbers are denoted by the keyword float, and the variable of float type requires only the 4 bytes of memory. And the syntax for the float, you can see here, float variable 1. So coming to the double data type, similar to the float data type, but it takes up to the precision up to the 15 decimal values. uh, and the keyword double is used for declaring the double data type. It takes double space 8 bytes than float. So it nothing but float takes 4 bytes of 4 bytes, and double space takes 8 bytes. To extend the precision further, we can use long double. What is a long double actually means is nothing but same as a float or a float and double, but in the long double it takes precision up to 19 decimal places also, and it also takes 10 bytes of memory space. The void data type, what is actually the void data type is nothing but the void. The term void indicates nothing. The void data type has no values, therefore we cannot declare as we declare integer and the float to the programming. The void can be declared it was mainly used in the functions actually. It will be covered later on the functions topic in the further sections. When we use a void in the program, it returns nothing. It does not return any value. The void data type is usually used with the function to specify its type. So let me recall some. So character, integer, float, and double and void. Character takes 8 bytes. Integer takes 4 bytes, and the float also takes 4 bytes, and double it takes 8 bytes than float. So now I will explain you with a simple program. I think you are able to see my screen.
Uh, Lenny, your screen is not visible. Try sharing it once again.
It's okay, Karthik, now?
Yeah, it's perfect. It's added.
Yeah, okay. So as Shashank explained that hash include stdio.h is a header file, and the int main, the printf, and we will be covering the printf and scanf in the further sections. What is actually now let us so int. So let me declare int a is equal to 10. Make sure you enclose with the semicolon also. integer data type. So it is a percentile. Integer takes percentile d as a format specifier. This format specifier is used for the input, for getting the input and output, and we will be giving the detailed description again. So when we run this, it gives integer data type is equal to 10. So how we can actually use character? So character char, it can be used. Yes, now I am declaring yes like this. Character data type. The format specifier of character type is percentile C. So now you get an error. Why? Because the character should be enclosed in the single quote. It should be enclosed in the quotes. Make sure you follow the syntaxes properly. So now you're getting character data type is equal to yes. So you can also use float. You can give any value. The format specifier is percentile F for the float. You're getting float data type. It takes up to 6 decimal values in the precision. So I am precision is nothing but the digits after the decimal value. When you declare it as a double, let me give the value as the format specifier is percentile LF, and so when we run it, so double data type, you can see the value. So I think it is okay. If there are any queries, you can ask us.
There are some questions from audience from the
Okay.
girls. Can it be in single quotes or double quotes, the data types?
Yeah. So once again, I will.
Vinita, are you there?
Yes, Karthik.
For what type of value we should give double quotes in character or data type?
So if we take character as in the, so it does not. So actually, character data type. So it does not gives any output. You should be taking only the single quotes. I think I am clear. Next.
Guys, please post down any more questions if you have. Standard input and output header file. Venkat Krishna, what you're asking us to explain that topic, or if you're asking us to explain that topic, that will be covered in the next session.
Yes. Yes, Venkat Krishna. For double, it should be up to 15 decimal places in the precision. For the long double, it is 19. For double, it is 15. For For the float, it
We
is 6.
mostly use. Renu Karthik Kaveti is asking if we can use percentile capital F as format
No,
specifier for
no,
double
we
A.
can't use. No, we can't use capital F.
Yeah, also Sri Ankit is like, we mostly use void and functions, right? If
Yeah,
you do
yeah.
not
The
want to
functions will
return
be covered in the
anything,
late.
yeah, exactly. If you don't want to return anything, then we'll use
Guys, you
void.
don't worry. We
However,
will be
return.
covering the functions topic next in the further sections. We will be giving detailed descriptions on the functions by using void.
So in the next session, that is on next Friday, we will be covering input-output operations, your decision statements, and loops. So don't worry, we will be covering every topic. Any more questions, guys? Also, in the meanwhile, we will be posting a feedback link and the attendance form. Only if you fill the attendance form for 6 days, that is how long the session continues. If you are attending all the sessions, only then a certificate will be given to you. So make sure you attended all. Tomorrow we don't have a Siddhartha. You'll be having a Python session tomorrow. Don't worry.
What does return?
What does return zero do? If you do not want to return anything, you can. If you are going with a non-void function, then you'll go with return zero. If you're going with a void function, you don't have to use return zero statement. Any more questions, guys? Okay. In the meanwhile, does the mentors have any suggestions for the participants on what they can practice, or any platforms where that they can use to practice? Attendance link will be provided in the chat box. Don't worry, we're doing that.
And this is just introduction section. We haven't dived deep into the language. We have just given some glimpse, like how exactly we need to code. What are some of the basic terms you need to know in the language? And we have 5 more weeks, like 5 more days, and five more 90 minutes. We will cover each and every topic in precise, so no worries. And even you can contact us anytime in the Telegram group with the community itself.
The mentors are always active on the Telegram group. So on the daily basis, also, if you have any questions at that time, also the doubts will be clarified. So please do be active on the Telegram group.
Did the session finish? No, Venkata. Again, like we have scheduled each session for 90 minutes every week, once in every week. But today, like it's introduction to programming, right? So we haven't finished it.
Can other
And
students
lot of
join
people
in?
has requested that conduct the event on any Zoom or Gmeet, right? We expected the count like in between 100 to 200, but we got more than 250 responses. So there is no suitable platform to conduct this event. So we thought going with YouTube is best option. If you have any other better option, you can suggest us. We'll go through that. And along this, we try to teach each and coders and non-coders. We try to teach in the better way the both can understand. Should we download any separate browser to practice?
Sri Ankit, if you want to practice coding, then you can go with platforms like HackerRank, CoreChef. There are many more coding practicing platforms. So you don't have to download any browser for that. You'll find it online. Try searching HackerRank, you'll find it.
So if I can talk here, like for a
Yes,
second, like
yes.
participants, like as we now like went through the syntax and everything of the programming language, like so, like all the basics of the C. So I suggest you like go through a online compiler or any like lead code or something and open the playground and start writing the code like how we are defining variables. like what are the functions and everything, like what are the errors you get. The most important thing in the programming language, like while solving problems and everything, is like you understand your errors. Try to read the rest, don't neglect the rest. Try read the warnings and everything. It tells you, the compiler tells you what to do. Like if you made a mistake, you just can't know where you made the mistake. It will mention the line and the line number and everything. You have to read the comment, you have to read the error warning and everything, then you'll able to change the code and everything. Like if you write a program and you have written a logic and you don't know what to change, like there's an error but you don't know what you have done wrong. So if you read the errors and everything, you'll understand. The mostly when you start a programming language, there will be syntax error, more than the formula logic errors. Like there will be syntax errors because like when you start the programming language, the problems will be like sum of the numbers, like multiplication and everything. Like, logic will be not the main thing. The syntax, like what you have to work on, like what are the semicolons and everything, you have to like that will be important. So I just suggest you guys to like go to any like Lead Code, Hacker Rank, any like coding online coding platform, and just try to write the program and what are the errors you get, like without any prerequisite. From today's session, you can write a lot actually. What are the int and everything? Just do that. Like, you'll understand how what are the errors and everything. That's it.
Also, guys, whenever you get errors while you are coding something, do not get demotivated. Errors are actually something that help you in making your code better. So they tell you this point at this line at this character, there's a mistake. So understand the error and improve your code. Do we have these sessions only on YouTube? Vamshika Deshmukh, if we get a better platform, we'll definitely shift to that. If you guys tell us any. And are these sessions enough to our first sem or not? Siddhartha, I don't exactly know your first sem syllabus. Yeah. Again, he put that. Satvika, are these enough for the first year? Because I'm not aware of the syllabus exactly.
So, guys, there are more 5 weeks that you're gonna learn in this series. So, this is more than enough for your syllabus and everything. Don't worry about that. Just focus on the learnings and do practice. In a beginning stage, you'll find it difficult with the mistakes you make. Just don't get demotivated, guys. All the 6 weeks program you just attended with all the zeal in you, and definitely these sessions are very good and great enough to learn from really from scratch to advanced level. And moreover, all the PDFs and materials will be provided with you, and we'll be sending it in the Telegram group. Do follow the Telegram group, join in it as soon as possible, and never just give up on your hope.
Which compiler is best
Thank
for
you,
C?
Satvika. Uh, Pushpavati, there's no problem. Let that response be. You don't have to fill the form again. Any more questions, guys?
Which compiler is best for C? Anish, would you like to answer? Or already?
Actually, there are many compilers right now, like online compilers. Like installing Dev C plus would be Dev C plus plus would be a very good option for you because it's like offline thing. You don't have to be online every time you try to execute the C language and everything. If you are comfortable with doing it online every time, my suggestions would be online JDB. It's the most famous one out there, and this the compiler I'm using right now. Program is online C compiler. It will be enough actually. Like all the errors and everything would be perfect in there. Like I would suggest if you guys would install the C++ because like working on the projects offline would be better than doing online. So that's it.
It's asking for permission.
Okay, guys, don't worry. We'll fix it soon.
Yeah, done. Refresh. Just try refreshing it again. And you got amazing community. You can just go on to Telegram and you can ask anything, or you can collaborate with other people. It's the biggest community you can in the college. So try practicing each and every day. Keep learning. Is Turbo C++ good? Uh, we got like better software than Turbo C++. It is a reputed software back in olden days, but we got better softwares, better compilers these days. So as Anish said, go with their C++ or with online compilers. When you try to code, it gives some suggestion. It is easier to find bugs and it is easier to debug the code. So go with online compilers or go with Dev C++. VS Code. It is also very good. Uh, and this is just phase one. In phase two, we'll also plan something more big. And it's just day one. Lot to so much way to go. So it says go to meetings, go to 100%. Go to meeting. There is one more platform also, sessions.us. It handles 250 people, but we expected count more than like today we expect the count is 270 people. So in that case, there is some issue. So we thought YouTube is the best option for everything, and it is flexible for each and every person, whether the person is on laptop or mobile. Do you recommend to do for sleep coaching? No, there are n number of resources available on internet, or we will started teaching C language, so you can learn right away here. There is no need of going to coaching, and you can just start browsing, surfing on the internet. You learn from scratch to advance. You can.
I think you already have a lot of free resources, so you don't have to pay and learn
Yes.
languages.
And I think there is one more new variant also coming, and there is no endemic soon, as we guess. So you got lot time in the while you are free. Try um, visiting any edtech startup, because initially they start giving free. So start utilizing that opportunities and learn each and every day. You can implement a new application for host session. Could you please elaborate more precisely, Savan? Should we download any separate browser to practice the C language? Any browser works fine. It doesn't matter. Any browser. It's all depends upon the platform.
Pradeep, the
If you
next
are working on,
session, yeah, so the next session on C would be on next Friday, and the first session of Python will start from tomorrow. So that's all about the next session. The
we have
attendance link has been pinned, Prasanna, so see that.
and every week you just spend 90 minutes, guys. Just 90 minutes every week, once in a week. Do you recommend Udemy certificate courses? No, like we personally doesn't recommend Udemy. Like going for Coursera or any other platform would be recommended.
Also, one more point on the attendance link is that
Vinita, you are on network issue. I think Vinita has having some sort of network issues, guys. CBP or Java, which has high priority. Both are equally important. Like it depends on on which thing you're working on. Will you give us a few? will you give a certificate? If you attend 6 sessions every without missing and without missing the attendance link, you will be rewarded with certificate, participation certificate from Coding Curbs and in collaboration with Coding Ninjas from Anurag University.
Yeah, the thing I have to add one thing regarding the attendance. So the attendance form will close automatically at 10 p.m. after every session that you attend. So if you want to get certified, you have to attend, like you have to attend and listen, and then fill the attendance form without fail. Only then you'll be provided the certificate, or else it will be very difficult for us to assess who have attended or not. So please make a note of it and like fill it accordingly.
On which will we get on which will we get certificate? The language you have registered for. Like if you register for C language, you will get C certificate for 6 weeks, the participation certificate. If you register for both courses, you get two certificates. Can other students join the club, like students from other college? For the core committee, only Anurag students are allowed in the coding club. For the community, all are welcome. It is a university level club. It is open for all, not just Anurag University. Ganesh.
Our main objective is to create a community where all the coders can like be as a group to form a tribe of coders and who are interested about coding, who are enthusiastic about coding. So we don't restrict people who are having that kind of enthusiasm. So you can join our communities on Telegram, LinkedIn, and Instagram. You can follow us. We'll have our active content that is being posted regularly. So we don't restrict people on that.
And coding club is for like all the coders out there and all the non-coders. It's like a two-way door. Anyone can participate in the club, anyone can engage, interact with the club. You can learn anything on the platform. It's not like a regular traditional club. Are there any contests other than participant certificate? Like we are in a plan of teaching you some sort of side project along with the Python. So if you are up to mark, like if you present well the project, you will be certified with the up what we say that, sorry, I'm not getting that.
Uh, Not a problem.
We
Like
provide
we'll be
the
taking up. Yeah.
best project certificate.
So firstly, we are starting with teaching new things, and soon after, if you're getting some good count, if there are more people who are interested in things like coding stuff and all, we are ready to host some competitions among yourselves. We are ready to host some hackathon kind of things. We are ready to help you in building the projects and all. Like so, this is just the beginning, guys. So we would recommend, as someone mentioned here, can other students join the club? It will, like, we really appreciate if you could go share it with your friends that they're teaching good, and we have already seen few amazing comments that gave us some like literal boost to continue with these sessions. So if you could just share a word about us, that would be really helpful f- in getting more reach for us.
And the team of coding curve as are working each day and night. Like there is no works going on front end, but there is a lot of work going on in the back end. They are working for day and night for making a better platform for all the students, for our coders and non-coders. Yeah, Vinita, are you back? Vinita, it's 8:30. Hello.
Is having some network issue on her end, so
Yeah,
I think she can't join the stream.
Manish, let's find out. Could you please take
Yeah,
over?
yeah. So that's it, guys. So We are really happy to see all your response here, looking at your comments, be like looking you interactive, looking you help each other in comment sections by answering their questions or by answering few of their questions. So we want to continue the same. Don't lose your spirit. Don't lose that enthusiasm in you. Like keep joining the sessions, and we are really happy to help you all. Vinita.
After this session completion, you just go on to Telegram and type your name and your college, and you can engage with other people, build a network with other people there. When is next session?
Yeah, we are on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Telegram with the name Coding Cubs. So you can just search for Coding Cubs and you can join the communities. I think that's pretty much for this day, and we can call it a day for this session, the phase one of C programming. And we are really happy to tell you that it went so great today. How much attendance?
Also, guys will be expecting the same amount of performance in all the sessions that we are conducting.
6 by 6.
Coming to the attendance percentage, you must be present in all the 6 sessions that we are conducting in both the languages if you want a certificate for both the languages. Thank you, Samaya. It was, I think, we shared all the knowledge that we had. Any of the doubts, if you have, you can post them in the Telegram group.
And don't just sit like a ghost in the Telegram channel. Try to be active in the groups, man. Everyone. Okay, we can call up the session for today, and we can meet in the tomorrow session. For tomorrow session there is Python. For tomorrow Python session, the coding mentors are Vishwani, Dheeraj, and Anish and Vinita. So see you tomorrow, all guys. See you soon.